Hey guys, Mile High back it up with another video. In today's video, we're going to be going over the same Yeti Clone Bomb Root Rider army that I posted yesterday, but this is going to be my Legend League attacks. So here's the army if you guys want to copy it. There will be an army link in the description. So here's what I did. I went plus 311 first day using it. It was really good. I had 197% time fail. That's the only fail I had. I had plenty of power left. I just time failed because I kind of screwed up the opening and didn't get very good value out of the Yeti Clone Bomb. So literally just one fail. So I'm going to hop into the first replay, and I'll catch you guys there. Alright, into the first attack, we have an Invis and a Rage Tower in the core with both Fire Spitters. It's kind of a strange base, a really boxy base, which isn't something I'm used to seeing too much of. So I'm trying to think here where I wanted to send in my Yeti Clone Bomb. You want to anchor it on a non-defensive structure to make sure that your Yeti Mites will go forward so you can actually clone them. So I'm going to clone them as they run towards that Wizard Tower there, and I'm going to clone all the way into the core. And I'm hoping to get the TownHall with this, but you don't need it by any means. It's just nice if you can get it, but if there's better value elsewhere, definitely go for that instead of the TownHall. So we're going to get the Fire Spitter. We're finally carving out that first layer of defenses so that we go for the TownHall finally. TownHall goes down. We take out the Invis Tower, which triggers it, which is perfect. So now we have a nice funnel set. So now we're just going to use our Queen to snipe out that gold storage. Usually I would use my Queen to set the other side of the funnel with the Siege Barracks, but I used her there just to snipe that storage so we didn't have anything wandering off. And now look at this. We have the perfect C shape around the base so everything can just path together the rest of the way through the base. And it might be worth tweaking this a little bit to bring a super wall breaker to break in your Siege Barracks troops on the other side of your funnel. Because you see there, they kind of just wander. But we do hit an early Warden ability here because I was about to lose. I think it was my Royal Champion was about to go down. So I saved my Royal Champion with the Warden ability. Usually I like to save the Warden ability for later in the attack. If you can hold it until later, that's definitely ideal. But if you have to use it early to save a hero or something, obviously it's worth it. And as you see, it's still going to work out just fine here. I am using the Rocket Spear on the Royal Champion just because my Hog Puppet isn't upgraded. But if you guys have Hog Puppet, that's definitely better than the Rocket Spear. But the Rocket Spear is pretty versatile. When she starts to get ahead of the army, I just pop it so she starts using her ranged attacks and doesn't get too far ahead of the army. And if you do miss the TownHall with the Yeti Clone Bomb, it is nice to be able to pop that ability, the Rocket Spear ability, to snipe out the TownHall so your troops don't have to path all the way into the TownHall. You can just get your Royal Champion to snipe it from the outside, which is actually really nice. That's why I'm running it, because I do have it leveled up. I do not have a high enough level Hog Puppet, or you could even run Haste File if you wanted to, but I don't see it's really not useful with this because you're just not using the Royal Champion dive. So I wouldn't recommend that, but if it's the only equipment you have, obviously it is usable. As you see here, we're just tearing through the backside of the base. We still have tons of Valkyries alive. Pekka from the Siege Barracks still alive. We still have pretty much all our heroes up. We have healers still alive. This base was absolutely shredded. Stood no chance. So I'm going to catch you guys in another attack. Alright, on to the next attack. This is actually a really common base, or at least it was last season. I haven't been running into it nearly as much this season. But you have that isolated TownHall in the middle with the big dead zones around the outside. So I do like to get the TownHall in these ones if you can. But if not, this is a perfect example of where that Rocket Spear could actually come in handy. So we're going to drop in our Yeti from the bottom and let it take a little bit of damage, and then we'll clone towards that Archer Tower. We'll drop our second clone. I did drop that one a little bit too far up, so they're barely overlapping, but it should be fine. And then we get all the way into the TownHall. We'll drop our Rage near the TownHall. You definitely need your Rage most of the time to take out the TownHall, so make sure you're using it in that area if you're going for the TownHall, just because it has so many hit points. Sometimes it's hard to get it down if you don't use the Rage. But you see here, we have tons of Yeti Mites spawning. The TownHall does go down. We cut out the ring of defenses again, so now we can pretty much path in from the left or the right side. It doesn't really matter. We're going to drop a couple of Valkyries down here to clear this trash. And we're going to send everything in from this left side. Root Riders are in, Healers are in, Test Loons go in. And this, I have this E-Titan, which really you probably could drop if you wanted to. That might be what I recommend dropping, to either bring some Super Barbs or bring a Super Wall Breaker. And it might even be worth it to drop that and a couple Valkyries and bring both, maybe one Super Wall Breaker and then a couple Super Barbs. But if you don't want to obviously activate a second Super Troop with the Super Barbs, well, I guess we don't have another one. So if you don't want to activate a Super Troop with the Super Barbs, you don't have to do that. But I would definitely recommend bringing one or the other, the Super Barbs or the Wall Breaker, or both if you can. I don't have any time issues with this, so that's why I'm not running the Super Barbs, but that Wall Break would be nice. As you see here, our Queen's stuck on a wall. We could have just Wall Broke her in there, and she could have joined up and started trimming this stuff out way quicker, so that's why that would be nice. And of course, our King's just down here doing absolutely nothing. We get our Headhunters in to at least wreck that. And our Titan is down there with our King too. The Titan likes to wander off, so it's not staying with the main army anyway. The only reason I brought it was for Clan Castle troops. But really, you don't need it because you have your electro boots from your Royal Champion anyway, which basically serves the same purpose. But if they do both group up, they do melt the CC. It is kind of nice. But as you see here, our Royal Champion is going to go down. Our Pekka from our Siege Barracks, for some reason, is in the core there. It takes out the Fire Spitter, which was really lucky. So we had a really nasty split. Even though we had a good funnel set on this, we had a nasty split of our troops here. But it's not going to matter. We'll just 2 times through it. It's just cleanup at this point. We still have our King ability. The Spiky Ball tears through the backside of the base. Pretty much takes out and weakens all the remaining defenses. We got our Warden with our Apprentice Warden. Our Queen's still alive. Our King did go down. We got our Phoenix up. So this was actually really close. It's basically just pets at this point. The enemy Minion Prince is an absolute liability, taking out our Phoenix. And luckily he drops down and doesn't path towards our Queen. So our Queen does end up getting a 3-star. That one was really close, but we did get a nasty split on the troops. So I'm going to catch you guys in another attack. Right on to the third attack. I don't know why we keep getting these really boxy bases. But we have a big dead zone in the middle with all these heavy hitting defenses. This is a very strange base. We've got the Monolith way over to the right. So we're going to come in over here by the Town Hall. Just because it was easy to anchor the Yeti there and get the Yeti Mites cloned. So we're going to go kind of around the Town Hall like this. So we can just clip the Town Hall on our way by and then still get value in the core here. So we should get that Inferno. Should get the Town Hall. And then we should start cloning in down here. Hopefully we can get that Fire Spitter. We do take out an Expo. Taking out a bunch of Teslas. I don't think we're going to get the Fire Spitter because we are really, we're really thinning out there. But we did get the value we were after. We do set a nice funnel. We should be able to just use our Root Riders now, and they should path into this compartment here. The Rage Tower did trigger early, which is nice, so that's about to wear off, so we don't have to worry too much about the Rage. It is going to get a couple hits, but then it's going to wear off. So we'll spam the rest of our troops, and we use our Queen with her Giant Arrow and the Siege Barracks down here at the bottom. I use the Ice Golem with them just to keep them alive. I usually tend to use the Ice Golem with that, but if you don't have much damage going to come in on your Queen, you can definitely use the Ice Golem with your main push. But it's just kind of slow, so it ends up falling behind the Root Riders and the Valkyries anyway. But this is perfect. See, if I would have a wall break here, I could wall break that Queen into that compartment there. That'd be perfect. So that's definitely one change I would recommend making. I don't know how I didn't catch that, and I kept telling myself I needed to add it, but kept forgetting about it. For some reason, my King again wanders off by himself and dies to a Super Drag, which is annoying, but he pretty much took out that whole compartment by himself. That's pretty nice. We have all of our Valkyries trimming all the trash on the outside. Our Queens on the first layer, just taking out all those defenses, and the rest of our troops are in the core. So we did get kind of a split on our troops here, but it actually worked out really well because we had all 3 levels of the base covered. A Royal Champion putting in work with her Rocket Spear right now. Our Queen's still full health with healers. We still got all our healers in the middle. Unfortunately, this Super Drag was stuck over on my King forever. So now it's finally going to path over here late and target my healers for some reason, which is really frustrating. But I don't really need the healers at this point anyway, so it's honestly kind of nice that it targeted the healers and protected my heroes for a little bit, because it took my heroes forever to turn and target that Super Drag. But the Royal Champion takes out the Super Drag, no problem. And this one actually came pretty close too, because now our Queen's going to have to beat on a wall again. Our Royal Champion might go down, but luckily the Diggy from the Warden actually transferred over and is following the Royal Champion, which could be clutch. And there's no defenses left anyway. At this point, it's just the enemy, what is that, the Warden, I think? Yeah, the enemy Warden is the only thing up. And the Diggy should stun him, which it does, so our Royal Champion wrecks him. The Diggy's actually so clutch. That's why I like running him on the Warden. It's probably better to run the Sneezy to protect your healers, but mine's upgrading right now and it's only level 1 anyway, so that's the reason I'm running that. But the Diggy is pretty clutch. So whichever one you have, obviously most people aren't going to have the Sneezy upgraded too far yet. So we're going to hop into one more replay. All right, on to the final replay. I don't know why I kept getting so many bases like this. Again, we have the Invis Tower core with the Town Hall, and then we have another Invis Tower down here by the Inferno. We're just going to path in here towards the Monolith because it's really easy to get the Yeti Mites cloned right there without messing it up. We're able to clone all the way into the Town Hall, which is nice because it'll take the Town Hall out first, and then it should target that Invis Tower second. You want to make sure you're taking the Town Hall before the Invis, obviously, because when the Invis gets destroyed, it obviously does trigger. So unfortunately, I was hoping they would target those Infernos before, but they didn't. So we're going to use our Queen with her Giant Arrow and Siege Barracks over here on the left. We're going to wait a second for it to pull the Ice Golems out. I'm just going to let my Wizards and my Queen deal with the Ice Golems on the outside here so it doesn't stall up the main force of my troops. And this is a little bit awkward because we have some trash buildings here that have really nothing to pick off. So maybe even a couple Wizards. That's another change you can make too. I don't know. You can tweak this to your liking. I'm definitely going to mess with it. I'm definitely going to drop that E-Titan, and I'm definitely going to bring a Super Wall Break because my E-Titan does wander up there by herself and is going to take out the trash. I guess that's all right. But yeah, like I said, the E-Titan hasn't been that useful, so I would definitely recommend changing that up. bring a super wall breaker, and you can either bring some more Valkyries, you could add some super barbs if you wanted to, maybe some wizards to snipe out trash like there in that instance, or even a baby dragon just to snipe those buildings that are inside the walls that are trash buildings that you obviously didn't take out with your Yeti clone bomb. That's the one downside of the Yeti clone bomb from the Royal Champion charge, is you don't have the electro boots to take out the trash buildings. But then the plus side of this is that it's way faster using the Yeti clone bomb than it is to do a Royal Champion charge. So for me, it's just way more worth it. I don't run into many time fill issues. As you see, I had one today, but that was because I didn't set that good of a funnel, and I got really unlucky pathing, and everything split up and ended up dying. So I didn't have that much force coming through the backside of the base, so it just ended up time failing. But this one is absolutely crushed. You see, basically all of our Root Riders are still alive, opening up all the walls. Our King's still full health, our Queen's basically full health, our RC's basically full health, our Warden's still up, we still have healers up. Yeah, this base stands no chance. This is crushed, so we're just going to 2 times through this, as it's basically just cleanup at this point. So this is one of the stronger armies I've used, and if you guys don't want to use any of the event troops, this is definitely the way to go. The event troops are good, but I don't know, I just feel wrong using them, because it's just so unfair. You literally just spam in the event troops, and they just wipe out the base. I'm honestly not that big of a fan of them, just for that reason. They're just way too easy to use. So let me know in the comments how this attack works out for you guys, and what kind of attacks you guys want to see in the future. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time.